Hasbro's Jabba Glob figure came out just a couple of weeks before The Phantom Menace hit theaters in 1999. The Lucasfilm marketing machine was in full swing at the time, bringing us Star Wars versions of just about everything under the sun. There was a lot of product available in stores, and a lot of people kept them in the box, which makes most of it worth very little today. I got this sealed case of Jabba Glob figures a few years ago on eBay for $8.71 plus shipping. I've kept it sealed since then, but I've always wondered what it looked like inside. In the end, it doesn't really make sense to keep something sealed forever, so I thought I would open it up for you. Exciting, isn't it? There could be anything in here, although I think it's probably 6 Jabba Glob figures. Yep, 6 Jabba Globs. It's interesting that they used tissue paper in between the packages to protect them. They also had these tissue paper wrapped pieces of cardboard in the bottom to help the cards from getting bent. Overall, it's a nice job of packing. And as you can see, they're in pretty good shape. There's a little scuffing here and there, but they're all more or less mint. Before we take a closer look at the toy itself and the packaging, I would like to introduce a couple of related items in my collection. One is this. It's a set of molds for the figure. I have the head and the body mold. These are rotocast molds, so you can see a lot of the detail inside the mold on the outside. They would have put liquid plastic inside and then spun them around to make a hollow vinyl figure. With the vintage Jabba figure, which I've introduced in another video, only the head was made with rotocasting, but in this case, both the head and body were made with rotocast molds because they needed them both to be soft and flexible. This same exact body mold was used for the later Ultra Jabba figure as well. This piece was inserted into the mold and then it was spun around. In fact, you can still see some of the plastic that's adhering to the other piece of the mold. The only other version of this that I have is the Canadian version, which is actually in English, French, and Spanish. I'll have to say Glue Jabba and Baba de Jabba are probably both better names. I also have this clay pipe that is very clearly inspired by the Jabba Glob figure. The arms and body appear to be hand sculpted, but the face is a dead ringer for the Jabba Glob figure, so they may have even used some sort of a mold for it. I assume this would be usable as an actual pipe, although I've never tried it and I have no intention of doing so. Wyatt, if you're watching this, I have your pipe. Let's take a closer look at the American packaging. Yum, says Jabba. Not a food item. Darn, I was hoping to have a little snack. They tell you how to use the toy right on the back. Remove Jabba's head and pour in the glob and frogs. Insert the can as shown to keep the glob in place. Reattach the parts to make Jabba complete. He's one hungry Hutt. Please the mighty Hutt by feeding him his favorite snack, Jabba Glob. This dripping, frog-filled delicacy is found only on Jabba's home planet of Tatooine. Be sure not to eat any yourself. Glob is for Hutts, not humans. Jabba's home planet is actually Nal Hutta and not Tatooine, by the way. And while they talk about feeding Jabba, the entire point of the toy is really to make Jabba barf slime all over himself, something I'm pretty sure didn't happen in the movies. Of course, Jabba did have a bit of a problem with excess mucus, and he did like to eat frogs, so I can sort of see where they were coming from. Squeeze the Hutt's head to ooze his slimy treat. Again, I'm not sure how squeezing someone's head until they vomit is a treat for them, but this kid seems to be enjoying it anyway. You know, it actually looks kind of tasty. Maybe oh, right. Let's try opening one of these up. This is actually not one of the ones from the case I just opened, but rather one I had in my collection beforehand. It has a KB Toys sticker on it. Apparently, it originally sold for $2.99, but had been marked down to $1.99. Looking at Jabba now outside of the package, he seems rather sick. He's all pale and covered in spots. Maybe that's why he's vomiting all the time. Anyway, you can see that he's made out of soft, hollow vinyl. Here are the frogs, and the container of glob. Now remember, it's been about 16 years since this thing was made, so who knows what this glob looks like. Or I guess I should say Jabba Glob Play Gel. Well, we'll see. brace yourselves. Okay, well, it seems to have reduced in volume by quite a bit. It's still gelatinous, but not nearly as liquidy as what we saw in the package. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Here goes nothing. Take Jabba's head off. Put in the glob. And we put the... Wait a minute. We forgot the frogs. Put the frogs in. And let's see if this works. I can tell already this is going to be a bit of a struggle. Oh, that looks painful. Yeah, that's about as good as I can do. I think this slime is just too old to work properly. But I have a few possible solutions up my sleeve. Fast forward about a week. I added some water to this and stirred it around a couple of times, and it's actually come back to life pretty respectably. It looks a lot like snot, which I suppose is really the point. Let's give it a try. That's a lot more like what we saw on the package. I think there's more in there, though. Let's see. One final try. Oh, that's much better. However, this reconstituted slime that I made was very sticky and disgusting, and there's no way you could possibly reuse it, which I think you were originally able to do with the glob. So this may not be the ideal solution. Dr. Wackos Color Goo to the rescue! I got some of this on Amazon, and it looks very similar to what was probably originally in the package. Ooh, yes, now we're talking. Let's see how this works. There's not as much in these tubes as you might think, so you might want to use 2 of them. Still, it works well, and you can just pick it right up and put it back in the tube when you're done. There's no mess at all. Oh, did I mention that this comes in 5 other colors? I think we're going to have to try them all. My 4-year-old daughter joined me for this last one.
The goo is really nice.
You like that, huh?
It's like a rainbow in the sky.
It is.
It's like plop, 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 plop. Blah, blah,
Bleh.
blah. I'm doing it now.
Oh, it looks painful.
And that's called Jabba the Hutt. And he's so awesome.